and welcome back to Wolves World for today's match review of the Spurs game and match preview of the Man United game. Given the quick turnaround, I thought I'd combine them both into one video. Hopefully you'll get a quick chance to see what I think of both these games. So, first of all, the 1-1 draw with Spurs. Few points from that game really for me are horrendous goal to concede to start with, not quite sure what Patricio is doing there, and we've seen a few times from Patricio, if you shoot when he is not ready or you catch him off guard, a bit like Newcastle did, which I believe the player even said in a post-match interview, you are capable of scoring against him, and that was another example this week of that, and I would like to see that improve. Beyond that, Spurs really didn't get me too worried throughout the game at all, and I think the stat that Sky Sports were focused on was they didn't get a shot after the 21st minute. And while that is, yes, some credit there to Wolves in how they got hold of the game from that point onwards, I also think it's a massive criticism of Jose Mourinho and his style of play in that game, which played into Wolves' hands, because I think if Spurs had really gone at us after that first goal, even if they'd settled down for a bit and then come back at us sort of late first half or second half, I think Wolves would have been in real trouble, because I could never see Wolves scoring more than one goal, and in fact I was delighted and a little surprised when we did in fact score that equaliser. Few things to note for me are VAR. Yes, I hate VAR and I've made that quite clear a number of times, but if they are not going to VAR to check the screen for an incident such as that, then there is no point having it in the game. I don't believe that should be a penalty in football. I think that's way too soft. However, given the letter of the law, this year he has been kicked and the ball has not. Whether he's theatrically gone down or anything else like that is irrelevant. VAR this year, following the rules that is set in place, should have checked that incident and should have awarded a penalty. We've seen lesser touches against Man City, against Wolves for Man City in that game. I think it was Mahrez. Very similar amount of contact, and we've seen others as well. So that was disappointing for me, because I do think had we got that penalty, we probably would have gone on to win the game. Next, no one on the pitch put in a bad performance. I thought that the whole team, from back to front, maybe except Patricio, did everything that was expected of them and more in some cases. Yes, we still lacked a bit of cut and thrust. We still let some passes go astray at key times, and we still maybe could have flooded the box or something a bit more, knowing how many defenders Spurs have and how they approach that game from a 1-0 position. I would have liked to have seen a bit more positivity, but certainly overall I didn't see any real errors or problems with the team selection or the performances on the day. So, to link the two teams together, I would actually like to see exactly the same team start as started this week against Man United. I do think that will leave us a bit more open to a team that will definitely attack more than Spurs did. I do think it will leave us possibly a little light in the centre of midfield, maybe for pace and all these things we always say Moutinho and Neves sometimes lack. A bit of energy and athleticism. But I do think against Man United they have a much weaker defence and will concede more goals than the Spurs under Mourinho. And I think again the first goal is crucial, but if Wolves can start with that same lineup, cause some trouble down the sides and get a few more bodies in the box, I do think this game is wide open and anything could happen. One obvious disadvantage for me is that it is at Old Trafford. Yes, there'll be no fans, but that will make a bit of a difference. I think Wolves have shown away from home, without the fans especially, we have been pretty poor this season, and I can't see, or performances have been pretty poor, and I can't really see us changing that today. If we go back to the 5 at the back with no Bolly, it will be Kilman who comes in, and I could only imagine again it's Traore who drops out. While Traore is not a player that I am madly fond of, he does offer something, especially in a counter-attack, to keep the opposition from attacking you. If you are Luke Shaw or whoever might be down that left-hand side today, you are going to think twice about attacking if Traore is on that right-hand side, as opposed to Podence or Neto, etc. So if Traore does start, I would like to see him be very positive, from the offset. I would like to see him try and come a bit more central to pick up the ball sometimes in the way that Neto and Podence do, and I'd like to see him run at Maguire and other large centre-halves, Lindelof, who are not blessed with pace, because Traore will consistently go around the outside of a fullback, which, while he is very good at that, his crosses have not been the best of late, and there's no one really in the box. Fabio Silva, yes, maybe good in the air, we don't really know. There's no one there to really cause that problem, and I just think he could alter his game in that slight way to create more chances for our team tonight. Another massive point between the two games, corners and set pieces. I know there was a bit of a mix between short and direct corners and free kicks against Spurs, but that difference unbalanced Spurs, and it created some problems that just consistently playing the short corners hasn't done for a long time now. And we obviously scored the equaliser from a fantastic direct cross with a lovely running header from Saiss. A running header that he can't make if a short corner is taken. And I do think Saiss is capable of popping up with goals. He's shown that throughout his time at Wolves. And while he is on the pitch, and then if Bolly is able to come back in the future, those two players in particular have got to be targeted with direct crosses because they are dangerous. And I'd like to see that happen more. Yes, by all means, some short ones as well, but it's got to be mixed up. And the delivery, when it comes, has got to be of a good quality, like Neto showed a number of times this week. Man United's main man, as we know, is Bruno Fernandes. Now, we've had some games against Man United where random players like McTominay and Fred have stepped up and had great games. But I think the key thing is trying to keep Fernandes as quiet as possible. Now, if we play with a back five, I think we'll find that a little easier because one of the centre-backs can step onto him or be aware of him by leaving a striker. If we play with a back four, I think Wolves will find this very difficult today. I think Neves and Moutinho defensively aren't as sharp as Fernandes is in the other direction, and I think he will regularly find pockets of space between the back four and the midfield. And if we can avoid that happening, I think Wolves have got a real chance in this game. Another thing I've enjoyed seeing that I would like to see brought into this game is shots. We've seen Neves now a couple of games in a row have some shots from sort of the 20-yard mark. Now, for a long time, Neves was never getting to those areas of the pitch. Now he is. And I would just love to see him continue to do that. The one that got slight nick deflected over against Spurs was a great effort. And he had another, I think, in the Burnley game that was a good effort too. He is consistently criticised for the amount of goals he scores or has scored in recent times. And the reason is he's not been shooting or getting in the positions to shoot. Wolves, through this change of system, have allowed him to get in those positive positions, and I would like to see him continue to get in those areas and try and get shots off. If Neves can have 2 or 3 shots a game, he's going to score 1 in every 2 or 3 matches as well. And I just think that's something he's been lacking, and I would like to see that more, especially against United, when a lucky deflection or a long-range effort or a keeping error is probably the way Wolves might come away with a real positive result here. So, that's all from me today. Hope you've enjoyed this quick review and preview video. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe, share with people, and I would love to have some comments below to get in some discussion for future videos. Thank you very much. Have a happy new year. Bye bye.